How much longer can the Squadron Supreme of America keep up their charade of a perfect world? Well, let's hop into the pages of Heroes Reborn issue number 7 and find out together, shall we? So then, this issue actually begins with one of what will be several little flashbacks to events that have happened throughout the Squadron Supreme's history, mirroring big important Marvel comic events. Like the time Hyperion, the Superman stand-in, and Nighthawk, the Batman stand-in, went to war with each other, a civil war, if you will, over a superhuman Registration Act, made all the more hilarious by the fact that Nighthawk's alter ego is literally a politician. Of course, that's not really what they were fighting about. What they were fighting about was the fact that they were both stupping Princess Zarda at the same time, and both guys were getting kinda jealous. And speaking of Power Princess, she's the one saying that despite all the dysfunctional differences that the members of the Squadron Supreme have had over the years, it's time to put all of those differences aside, as they are threatened now more than ever before from a mysterious group calling themselves, you guessed it, the Avengers. At first, some of the people at the table have a hard time believing Princess Zarda, but eventually Hyperion and the others open up about the weird experiences they've had in their own special little tie-in issues. Indeed, the world around them feels fake, manipulated, and that word Avengers just keeps gnawing at the inside of their skull. It's for all these reasons and more the Squadron Supreme decide to join together like never before to try and uncover the secret of these mysteries, starting with a trip to the Arctic. Hyperion had actually traveled to the Arctic once before on his own to try and find any proof about the existence of Captain America Steve Rogers, but he came up empty-handed. Dr. Spectrum, though, gives it a once-over, and eventually concludes that there has been some strange otherworldly residue left behind. This new information dovetails quite nicely with the security footage that Nighthawk was able to gather in his own special spotlight issue involving the big breakout at Ravencroft Asylum of Echo, the newest host for the Phoenix Force. And hey, speaking of the Phoenix Force, it would seem that when Princess Zarda murdered Jean Grey, she made an eternal foe of Wolverine, only in this world he never became Wolverine, he stayed Weapon X, the leader of Alpha Flight. Not only did the Squadron Supreme of America hate these guys for being radical dissenters to President Coulson and his New World Order, they especially hated them because they were Canadian. Want to know more about this incarnation of Alpha Flight? Well, you can read their special tie-in issue that came out this week. Now, if it wasn't Alpha Flight behind this plot, then who else could it possibly be? Maybe the Goblin, Norman Osborn? It wouldn't be the first time he created his own evil super team like the Dark Squadron. But one beating from Power Princess later, and they're pretty sure that he's not actually behind this one this time. Eventually, the question gets broached by the members of the Squadron Supreme about how much they should actually tell their boss, President Phil Coulson. Eventually, they decide it's probably for the best that he stay in the dark on this whole Avengers problem. After all, it's good for a politician to have a certain level of anonymity and deniability in these situations. This ultimately further serves to solidify the fact that the Squadron Supreme has no idea that it actually is President Coulson who's pulling all the strings in these situations, with direct backing from Mephisto. Though as we discover in yet another flashback, this time to one moment in time featuring Blur, Mephisto seemingly has no loyalty to the Squadron Supreme either, going about his own villainous machinations like stealing the marriage of Blur and his love, Mary Jane Stewart. What is it with this dude and stealing marriages? He just fucking loves it. He's just got a big old red devil boner for stealing people's marriages. Ultimately, the Squadron Supreme manages to zero in on their best lead yet. That strange energy signature that they found before actually belongs to Vibranium, and eventually they end up coming face to face with the secret lost city of Wakanda in Africa. But that's not all they find either. After a whole series of being on the defensive and working behind the scenes, the Avengers actually set a trap for the Squadron. They're planning to fight them one-on-one and get their reality back at any cost. Now that's where the main story ends, but the backup actually features Coulson himself. We get to meet his inner circle made up of Press Secretary J. Jonah Jameson and Thunderbolt Ross, his vice president. Coulson finds himself in a real bind right now. The Squadron Supreme have more or less gone maverick on him right now, and he can't call them back. He also just can't bomb his enemies and Wakanda back to the Stone Age because that would get too many eyes on this situation, which, as we discover via Mephisto, is the worst thing that could possibly happen. As more people know the word Avengers and see them, their memories actually end up coming back, and this reality gets broken up. Which means the only way that Coulson is going to be able to protect everything him and Mephisto have built in this brand new reality is by erasing the Avengers once again with his ultimate secret weapon. And that would be the Pandemonium Cube, basically an evil red version of the Cosmic Cube that I can only assume comes directly from hell. Man, you kinda gotta respect that even when Coulson is a villain, he still can't stop being a giant Captain America fanboy and using basically the same President Cosmic Cube scheme that evil Steve Rogers did during Secret Empire. And so that was Heroes Reborn issue number 7, everybody, and overall I thought it was enjoyable enough, if just a little bit bloated here and there. At times it felt like Jason Aaron was trying to get as many fun Marvel Universe references in as he possibly could before this story has to come to an end. It really does seem like the entire resolution to this story is all going to be contained within the big Heroes Return extra issue that comes after this, which I mean, I guess historically makes sense because you had the original Heroes Reborn followed by Heroes Return, so you gotta follow that naming convention. I guess, too, after 6 odd issues in a row that allowed us to see all the different members of the Squadron Supreme, what makes them tick, what makes them dysfunctional, and then get to see them all interact together as a team and actually get stuff done is worthwhile in putting them over as antagonists, even if I felt we didn't need it at this point, because they are, at the end of the day, such a commentary deconstruction on the Justice League. Overall, I feel comfortable giving this one a 7 out of 10. I was never bored, even if in the back of my mind I do kinda wish this story would reach its ultimate conclusion already.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel, and if you're seeing me right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, which I am very appreciative of. It really helps drive engagement and retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. So does liking and commenting. Wink wink. If you like my content too, you should check out my Patreon page. We just redid all the tiers, so there's a ton of great rewards. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and well, it would just really help me out. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So until next time everyone, I've been Cape Joel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.